So yesterday for my partnerversary, I was like doing like a little like slideshow of my herstory. So let's just start from the beginning really quick. I didn't get through it all. I started streaming in 2013. I was streaming World of Warcraft. I was doing my trolling. My first day of streaming, I hit 100 viewers organically. My first day of streaming. And I remember I had the name Casey Tron. And I didn't think anything of it. I was like, oh, there's no way that people are going to be trying to find who I am my first day of streaming. And Caseytron was like related to some of my other socials whenever I first started. So they found out my name like immediately. And I was pretty much like doxxed from the beginning. And there was no coming back from that. This is like some of my old shenanigans I would be up to. This was the controller photo shoot that I did, which I thought was like hilarious. I took like a bunch of different like game controllers and I would be like, I'm a real girl gamer. And I'd pose with like the controllers. And, you know, I would wear my push-up bra and like these men would be so mad. Like they would be calling for me to be banned because of showing cleavage and things like that. It was really just all very like ridiculous. The kind of like calls for like deplatforming that I got for like literally just doing this. So after I started out playing World of Warcraft and several months later, my chat talked me into playing League of Legends. So I downloaded League of Legends and it like blew up from there. This is me playing League of Legends and just some of the dumb shit that I would do. You know, like in the middle of my League of Legends game, I would like pull up an MS Paint and I would be like, okay, so whenever you're playing and you're trying to win a League of Legends game, you have to think about your strengths and weaknesses. My strengths are I have a lot of skins in game. Like I would just say stupid shit like that. And I'd be like, I'm really good at games. I'm better than men. I'm going to be in the LCS. Like I would just say shit like that. And it would just like drive these men insane. They would get so angry about it. And I would just get like all of this unjustified hate for doing my goofing. I'd just be doing my goofing. See, this is more of my goofing. This is me in the League of Legends section. As you can see, like the top 5 League of Legends streams. This is like whenever I first started blowing up. It's TSM Burgerson, TSM Wild Turtle, then Caseytron, TSM The Odd One, TSM Dyrus. It's like one of these is not like the other. They would get triggered. They'd be like, her camera takes up half the screen. Her camera's so big. She's using her tits to get views. And it sparked a lot of outrage. Because of my provocative attire, there were many requests for me to be banned from the site. And this went on for years. And really, like, Twitch did placate it. Twitch did placate the ridiculous calls to have me banned for wearing a fucking tank top by the removal of my subscriber button. In early 2014, just after a few months of having a sub button, Twitch decided to randomly take it away when I was live. There was never any sort of real justification as to why, and this action was unprecedented. Because of this, during my peak, I had to go back to working retail and juggling full-time work with maintaining a stream schedule. This is one of my big fucking gripes that I have about Twitch. Twitch like fucked me over so much. Like whenever I was going viral and I should have been able to focus on like my stream and growing my platform, they took my fucking sub button away because a bunch of incel men were crying about me wearing a tank top, basically, is what happened. So I had to go back to working retail for a while until that turned around. But I don't know. It was just shitty. Damn, I didn't know that, Lord. No, it was really fucking shitty. Like, you know, it really is like during that time, whenever I was going viral, I shouldn't have had to have worried about being witch hunted by the fucking platform that I streamed on and made money for wearing a tank top. But I did. And, you know, it's like I had to go back to work whenever I was at like my peak viral point. You know, it was shitty. Like, imagine if I didn't have to go back to working full time during that time, how much bigger my platform could have been. Maybe it wouldn't have made a difference, but I think it would have. Like, Yeah, fuck Twitch. I was targeted by Twitch. There's articles about it. There is people who were close to Twitch staff that have backed it up and said that there was a period where Twitch was trying to figure out a way to get me off the site because of wearing tank tops. It was really fucking ridiculous, but I don't know. And I think it really just speaks to like my attitude to this day. I get very defensive. Sometimes I can be like on the attack because I'm just so used to being unjustifiably attacked over fucking bullshit. Okay, so then my League era. So I went back to working retail and I was doing streaming too. I was doing both of it. And I continued doing my harmless bits and making content on League all throughout 2015. At some point, I was finally given my sub button back and able to return and focus on streaming. Twitch had made several TOS changes to attire during this time. There were many rumors that I was going to be banned because of the Google buyout and them not wanting sluts on their site. And just like that general kind of rhetoric. I'd often lean into this by wearing a turtleneck and acting scared of getting banned. You know, like I would play it up whenever the incels would be like, Casey Tron's gonna get banned. And I didn't know, like I very well could have. Like I honestly was like, I don't know, Twitch might ban me. They took my fucking sub button for no reason. You know, I was walking on fucking eggshells for fucking nothing, for wearing a tank top, literally. But yeah, sometimes I would lean into it and I'd be like, oh my God, this is some of, oh my gosh, I was a knockout. Look at me here. This had to see, and this is my controller photo shoot. I had men giving me their paychecks. It's true. Like men were giving me their, like, oh my gosh, my hair, like, isn't that interesting? Was I doing like a red on the top and a black underneath? Like that's so 2010s coded of me. But anyway, here's just some more of my things I would do starting soon. Feminism, you know, and I also started like leaning into like the feminism stuff. And some would say that I was making fun of feminism, but I was more so making fun of what incel men think feminism is. Other notable moments, the hat/conservative era. Hold on, I have to pull up some YouTube videos of this. Whenever I was like transitioning out of like my e-girl phase, because I was, you know, I don't know, like I feel like I've worn a lot of different hats, like literally and metaphorically. So whenever I started like transitioning out of my e-girl shit, like I started doing this like thing where I would act like very conservative, not like politically, but like, you know, maybe even politically too. Because I will do that from time to time. Here it is.
You know what they're doing. I'm not gonna say it, but let's just call a spade a spade.
You look like an astronaut. No, I don't.
I'm tired of you guys taking it like a joke, just like my nipple hat or whatever you guys are saying about it. And I took a lot of time putting together this outfit, and I take a lot of time putting together my outfits and my streams, and I do a lot of crafting, and I don't care what you guys think. I may look like Mary Poppins, but I don't fucking like children.
What the fuck are you wearing? What is that? Yo, you out here looking like you trying to be a character from the Rugrats or something? Yo, the whole reason that we started any of this is to make the money, baby. It's to make the money. And everybody knows that the Twitch sluts make the most money. And you just turning your stream on dressed like a grandma? Is that funny to you, Casey Tron? Like, what's going on?
But yeah, I have my GTA roleplay. And then the gay straight alliance fully underway. I say the gay straight alliance because I'm straight, but I think around like this time, like around 2015, 2016, like it started becoming obvious who my supporters were. So I think this is me during this time Okay, and this is some of like I love this picture of me. I love this hat. This is one of my favorite looks. I love this look. It's one of the emo hats. I still have this hat somewhere, but I love this look. Oh, and then my gaming news segment, the March of the Cows, my outfits. Oh my goodness, the outfits. No, I do. I just love this look so much. I also like this look. That was whenever I would do my lawyer look. Kathy. Oh my goodness, me and my cat Cheech. Cheech passed away. It's been about a year, but she was like a 22-year-old cat. She was very old. Okay, and then in 2017 is whenever I started going IRL. Up until 2017, I didn't do IRL streams. Like, honestly, you know, and I haven't talked about this much, but there was like a certain level of like, I was insecure about like people seeing like, you know, my full body and like, you know, just like not being like on the webcam, being on like a phone camera and how I would be perceived. You know, because like being a woman online really does suck, right? It really does suck. Like, you know, it's like people call me fat now and they'll be like, oh my God, Casey Tron got so fat. Casey Tron got so fat. She's so fat. She's so ugly. Like, and it's like, well, if so you're saying you think I used to be skinny because even years ago they called me fat. Around this era, honestly, like IRL streams were really taking off on Twitch, and I think that people were looking for something besides gaming, and I was like, I don't know, it's time to go IRL. Oh my goodness. Like this is whenever I got the Botox. I was looking so good here. Yeah, that's outside the bar era, 2017 to 2020, LOL. Honestly, the bar era was crazy because I would stream. It was like me and my sister decided to open this little bar. It was just like a little dive bar. And I don't know. I think I was going through some sort of manic episode type phase. And what I always say is I'm like, you know, I think we got our midlife crisis out of the way early. So at least we don't have to go through this shenanigans in our 50s. At least we were able to do it in our 20s. There probably are videos, but I'm like, I don't know if I want to look at videos of it. There might be some. I don't know if there's like very many, but it's probably like the videos are probably of like me and my sister fighting or something. So, you know, it kind of, there were some good memories, but there were some bad ones too. See, there's the bar. Like I was looking so good here. No, and you know, like people will always be like, the incels, they'll always be like, oh my God, alcohol and drugs has ruined Casey Tron's life. She used to look so good. Like, in my opinion, whenever I looked my best, it was like around this era. Like, oh my gosh, look at the Botox. Like my forehead isn't so lumpy. Oh, and there's Babe. Oh, look at young Babe. No, like these incels will be like, oh my God, Casey Tron looks awful now because of drugs and alcohol. I swear, whenever I looked my best, I was like, that was like the most drinking and drugging I had ever done in my life, like during this time, whenever I honestly think I was looking my best. Like, oh my gosh, where is that jacket? Where is that jacket? I need that jacket. Where did that jacket go? Whenever I'll be looking at these old photos of myself, oh my God, if Sean saw that, Sean would be like, oh my God, I'm so thin. Like, Sean would be like, oh my God, is that really me? But yeah, that's the bar. It was honestly so fun. But yeah, the bar era, that was LOL. That was, I don't know, like, I think that I was going through some sort of manic phase during the bar era where I decided that would be a good idea. I think that I was having an episode or something, but it ended up happening. And honestly, like, I am proud of it. Like, a lot of, like, the incels, they'll be like, yeah, Casey Tron started a failed bar. First of all, I didn't like, I lost about like probably $30,000, which I know is a lot of money, but in the grand scheme of things, it's really not. Like, could be worse, right? It's like, have these people ever listened to like Kitchen Nightmares and like that's not that bad. No, like people will like fucking be millions of dollars, $500,000, hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt. Like, yeah, it sucked being 30K in debt, but I'm not anymore. Like, you know, for a failed business. Yeah, why did it fail? Well, COVID, for one. Honestly, it was like kind of just like before COVID even hit, it was kind of like dying off. But really, like, I think overall the reason why it failed is just because that's what happens to most restaurants and bars. Like, I think it's like an astounding amount of bars and restaurants that open up fail within the first 3 years. Yeah, it's a very tough industry. It was definitely an experience. And like I said, I'm glad I experienced it whenever I was like in my 20s. Like, imagine if I pulled some shit like that in my 50s and started dipping into my retirement and shit. You know? Would you ever reopen it? No. It was honestly like really fun. It's like, yeah, it did fail, as most bars and restaurants do. It's like a very tough business. Like a lot of bars, it's just like you're the hot bar and then you're not anymore. That's just kind of what happens, you know? So it was like the first like couple of years, it was really fun. Like we would be hopping, but then, you know, come like the third year, it was just hard to get people in the door. I'm glad that we dipped out as quickly as we did and like put it behind us and didn't try to hold on for like longer. But I will say one of the things that kind of grinds my gears a little bit is if we would have stayed open during COVID, if we would have stayed open for like 6 months longer, I could have got one of those PPE loans or whatever. You know how they were giving out a bunch of money to businesses? What we ended up doing is we actually technically sold the business to this man. He was like in his 50s and we were talking to him a bit about it and trying to like give him like some tips on, you know, what to do kind of. And I remember just feeling like he was like, you know, kind of like brushing us off like, oh, these two broads don't know what they're doing. I'll do this myself. Da 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 da. But he never reopened it. He like bought this business and he was never able to get it open. It just sat for like 2 years. I am proud of that we were able to start a bar because me and my sister did it like completely ourselves. Like, it's not like we like called up someone or like hired a lawyer that did all of the fucking work for us and shit. Like, we got a fucking liquor license. You know, like I filled out all the fucking paperwork, like to get a fucking liquor license, went and got like all of the proper certifications, like blueprints and shit like that. You know, like I did taxes for a business. Like I did all of the taxes myself. Like I paid like sales tax in and shit. You know, it's like I did a lot of shit. Like, as fucking dumb as these fucking losers want to act like I am, it's like, okay, you open a bar. Let me know how it goes for you. You do it. For how these incels want to be like, oh yeah, she's so dumb in her failed bar. Okay, you go open a bar. Go do it. How would you do it? How would you go about starting it? Right? Pretty good for being fucking 28 years old. Well, wait, I was 27. We were like on auction sites, like getting like bar equipment, like looking up bar equipment, like finding out like the different alcohol carriers and, you know, like, you know, it was like it was definitely like a whole experience. Like, I mean, I'm not going to say I excelled, you know, it's like, yeah, the bar closed, but I think I did pretty damn good. What was the bar called? It was the Hideout. Queen of Lover host from 2020 to 2022. I ran that shit. No, I did. I ran that shit. E-Girl Rejects 2021 to 2023. What happened to it? Like, really, all that happened, I think, is that during the time that we were doing e-girl rejects, it was literally like COVID time. And I think that doing like content like that had kind of just ran its course, and people were moving on to doing collab content with each other in person, which, like, me being like a Midwesterner and not able to like move out to LA and shit, it's like it was just like, I can't do collabing in person. Minx and Cutie got really big around that time. Yeah, like Minx and Cutie were in LA, and there was still some collabing going on then, but it was just like I said, like people weren't doing like video call collab type stuff. The collab era, ShitCon 2022, ShitCamp 2022, ShitCamp 2023, my heyday. Little did I know that it wouldn't go on for long because of my villain era. Being an opinionated woman in media is wrong. Don't make my mistake. One of the things that like gets me and just like really grinds my gears is how like all of these fucking people will just be like, well, I don't like Casey Tron because she's just always involving herself in drama. And I just don't think that's true. Like, I don't think I over-involve myself in drama. I think that whenever drama hits, Twitch or YouTube or wherever, people commentate on it. Like, literally everybody commentates on drama. It's just that I'm a woman who does it. And you can not convince me it has anything to do with otherwise. Nobody would ever be like, XQC can never not be in the drama. He never minds his own business and shuts the fuck up. It's like men in media are allowed to commentate on the drama and have opinions, but like women aren't. Whenever women do it, they're involving themselves. It's like, no, I'm not involving myself. I just have an opinion on this thing that's happening in the work atmosphere that I'm in. The hero era. This is the current era that we're on. I think things are gonna change for me. Things are looking up. Okay. So, sorry, I wanted to finish my herstory slideshow. Did Casey win the lawsuit? Not yet, but I will. Not yet, but I will.